Obi lo jebe, I mean, pardon me. That's Obi.
Yes.
Obi flogging people. If you are flogging a child, that child must cry.
It's Nigerians that flog them with votes now.
It is Obi. That Obi people. They chop the kidney or the liver of. In fact, Obi.
Did you expect this level?
I don't expect. Did
you expect this level
I am
of
even
hemorrhage?
afraid as I am. I didn't sleep. When I was young, Obi here, Obi there, Obi there, Obi. Today, everybody has known what Obi is made up of. That's what I said to you. This Obi, don't allow anybody to put stains on your clothes. You have put up a great fight.
Yes.
A fantastic fight. When you look at the things I have here, it will help you. In the president's place, he lost election with the sitting governor there. In Lagos, Asiwaju lost election. The Speaker of the National Assembly is from Lagos. Obi lo jebe, I mean, pardon me. That's Obi.
Yes.
Obi flogging people. But
even Okowa.
I don't want to mention names.
Yeah, they are your PDP.
I don't want to mention names. Everybody knows the reason why what killed his mother and his father. As long as you are the one that succeed your father and your mother, you must know what killed them.
Yes.
So what is killing PDP? They know it. I don't want to put my mouth inside that. This election now is largely between Obi and APC. Even in Ayu states, Ayu lost his ward. Ayu lost his local government. What are you talking about? When they used to tell us, when fish decay from inside, there's nothing left, sir. If fish is decaying from outside, you can quickly use knife and cut it off. If it's from inside, there's no solution.
But if it decays from the head,
from the head, that's what I mean.
Redeemable.
Yes. Let me tell you something. In this Lagos, I've told you, who will imagine Obi will come here? When I had the result, 50,000 to APC 29,000, I said, to sleep became a problem. In President State, you redeem 1.2 million votes and you still won by 5,000. That means you have redeemed, you have taken the 1 million votes, 1.2 away, and you still won. Let's go a little further. In this Lagos, Asiwaju lost. But Abila lost.
No, he didn't.
No, not in person.
You mean,
the party.
Okay.
The
impact of this defeat.
Yes,
what a bombshell revelation. This is indeed a shockwave that Peter Obi will Flog Tinubu blue and black at all polling units come 2027 general election. Fayose drums a heavy bombshell. So the former Ekiti governor Fayose is really making waves in a daring new statement. He confidently predicted that Peter Obi will easily beat Tinubu in the 2027 presidential election, especially with the current momentum sweeping across the nation. The way Peter Obi is gaining traction even after the 2023 general election is something to behold. Nigerian youth both at home and abroad are rallying behind him, and what is in store for Tinubu and the other political parties is nothing short of monumental defeat. Obi is coming. He is coming in with the people's fury, and Tinubu won't stand a chance at the polls. Now, who go tell Jagabano? Do you agree with this Fayose or not? Anyway, I want you guys to listen to one Nigerian, refresh Nigerian guy. This guy has really dropped a hefty bombshell regarding this particular news. If you finish watching, never subscribe. Kindly do well to subscribe. Subscription and free, say make you watch our updates. And feel free to drop your opinion in the comment section.
Think that Nigerians can trust Tinubu to deliver free, fair, and credible elections in 2027? Do you? Even if by some miracle we are able to push hard enough and get the electoral amendment bill, get all the electoral reforms that we need, do you think, on top of that, we can trust Tinubu to deliver free, fair, and credible elections in Nigeria come 2027? Do you? Now, if your answer to this question is, oh, definitely we cannot. We cannot trust Tinubu. We cannot trust INEC for free and fair, credible elections. We cannot trust that even after the Electoral Amendment Act is passed, even after all the electoral reforms, we cannot trust that INEC will not throw up some kind of glitch. If your answer is, we cannot trust them, what is supposed to be the reaction of Nigerians? What are Nigerians supposed to do? Are we supposed to just throw our hands in the air and accept defeat and say, there is nothing we can do? Let Tinubu just continue beyond 2027, or we'll try again in 2031. Is that what Nigerians are supposed to do? If your thinking is that we should just leave Tinubu to continue till 2027, then I have a question for you. What makes you think that in 2031 that things will be any different? That Tinubu would not still mastermind his way and probably even bring his son, Sheyi Tinubu, to be the next president? What makes you think he won't do that? What makes you think that he would not manipulate INEC, manipulate this National Assembly, his boys, to get a third term? What makes you think that? So, the thought that, oh, Tinubu will rig the 2027 election, and so therefore all Nigerians should just give up and hope that in 2031 some things will change, that thought is a thought that will never happen, because they will keep shifting the post. Now, if it is not an option for us to just give up and allow Tinubu to continue, what other options do we have as Nigerians? What other options? Is there a way that we can stop Tinubu from rigging the 2027 elections in Nigeria? Is there a way? Is there anything that we Nigerians can do to guarantee that the elections will be free, fair, and credible? I have good news. That is the whole essence of this video. There are, in fact, there is, and that is Project Eagle. How can Project Eagle help? What is Project Eagle, you might ask? The answer is simple. Project Eagle can help to ensure that no rigger, nobody, whether it is the APC, the PDP, whether it is Tinubu, Project Eagle will help to make sure nobody rigs any elections in Nigeria ever again. Now, what is Project Eagle? Project Eagle is a 7-action step project that guarantees free, fair, and credible elections. How does Project Eagle work, or how will Project Eagle work? Now, that is a good question. Now, I ask you a question in return. When there is a disease and scientists or pharmacologists or virologists, whatever, are working on a cure for that disease, what do? They first of all need to understand how the disease works. What are its strengths? What are its weaknesses? Then, after understanding how the disease works, then they can now come up with a drug that weakens the disease. That is the approach that Project Eagle takes. Project Eagle understands how rigging happens in Nigeria's election and uses that knowledge to generate the 7-action plan that makes up the Project Eagle, that guarantees that nobody can rig election, even if you are a Tinubu. In fact, if all the 7-action plan of Project Eagles are implemented, then it won't matter if by some strange happening, Tinubu happens to be the candidate of the APC, and at the same time, the INEC chairman, and at the same time, the head of the security agencies, and at the same time, the head of the thugs, and at the same time, the head of the judiciary, right? It would not matter, because the 7-action plan that constitutes, that makes up Project Eagle, they are so potent, so powerful, that they guarantee that nobody can rig any elections ever again in Nigeria. Are you not excited? I am. So what are these 7 action steps, and how will they work? Now remember, for us to come up with a drug, we need to understand how the disease works. How are elections rigged in Nigeria? There are 6 components. 6 components of successful election rigging in Nigeria. 6. Number 1, you need the candidate himself. The candidate that will be responsible for manipulating the rigging. The candidate and his political party. Right? From the candidate and his political party, you now need thugs that will snatch ballot boxes and cause electoral violence. So you need thugs. That's the second component. From thugs, you need compromised security agencies. And then you need compromised INEC, who is supposed to be the electoral umpire. From compromised INEC, you now have compromised judiciary. Yes? From compromised judiciary, what else do you now need? You need the 6th one, which is the most dangerous, because nobody even thinks about it. The 6th component of successful election rigging in Nigeria is voter apathy. That has to do with the people. Now, these are the 6 components that makes successful rigging in Nigeria. 6 components. Now, how can you tackle each of these components to prevent them from being able to operate in any election ever again in Nigeria? How? You might be asking, are you trying to say that there is a way we can check the excesses of our security agencies, the police, the army, the DSS? Are you saying there's a way that we can check their excesses, check the excesses of INEC, check the excesses of the judiciary, of thugs, of the people that constitutes voter apathy and are responsible for vote selling? Are you saying that there is a way we can put all of these in check? Yes, there is a way. And those are the 7 action plan that constitutes Project Eagle. Without wasting your time, let me get straight to it. I will mention each of the 7 action steps, and I will show you which of the 6 components of successful election rigging they tackle. And at the end of the day, you will see, by the time we put all of them together, exactly how Project Eagle is the end of election rigging in Nigeria. The end. Okay. Action plan number 1. Electoral reforms. This one, we're on it. If we are able to successfully get the Electoral Act amended and get all the electoral reforms that we have brought up and suggested in the amendment that we sent earlier, and we get the amendment passed the way we want them, if we are able to do that, then we would have successfully checked the excesses of 2 components of election rigging in Nigeria. What are those 2 components? 1, the excesses of INEC, and 2, the excesses of compromised judiciary. When they tell you, oh, the law says, by then we will have a law that exposes their activities, and then there will be no grounds for them to operate. That's 1. Action plan number 2, political party reform. Political party reform takes care of the candidate himself as a component of rigging. The political parties in Nigeria, as currently constituted, they are responsible for scaring away credible leaders, patriotic leaders, through high cost of nomination forms, monetized politics, corrupt delegates, and what have you. Even when they tell you, oh, consensus candidate, it is all corruption. So if we're able to get the right reforms in political parties, what will happen is the political terrain will be leveled, it will be a level playing field, and then it will be competition of ideas, not how deep your pocket is anymore. That way, it is only credible people that will come and be thrown up, or at least the credible people will have a solid fighting chance. Political party reform will take care of the candidate himself. Right now we are thinking, we have Peter Obi, we have Hamza Al-Mustafa, some of you, we have Showore, some of you, we have this and we have that. But you see, the truth is, these are just a single head. You need to fill other positions. Putting a Peter Obi in power with the likes of Akpabio and Tajuddin Abbas in the National Assembly is still going to be very problematic. So the only way to get credible candidates to be thrown up, to unseat and send the likes of Akpabio packing, we need political party reforms. That does not shield credible candidates away from the system through billion naira politics. Action plan number 2, political party reforms. More on that later. Action plan number 3, parallel election monitoring. In fact, I'll rephrase that. Parallel real-time election monitoring. Parallel real-time election monitoring. What exactly does that mean? Let me explain. The parallel election monitoring is comprised of 2 components. Number 1, this technology part, which is the application. Number 2, the people. The technology part is Vote Vision. We are working on this app and we are launching July 1. This application will allow Nigerians to real time to collate their election results from the polling unit. It will allow Nigerians to collate the polling results from the polling unit, and the software will take care of the entering of the results, the automatic collation of the results, and the automatic real-time publishing of the election results as they happen from the polling unit. So you're just looking at the website, you are looking at your screen. For those who may get the APIs, this is what part of the things that the electoral amendment is supposed to force INEC to do. But if we don't get the electoral amendment passed, we have Vote Vision. Now, even if we get the electoral amendment passed, we will still not trust INEC and sit down and do nothing. We will still activate Vote Vision, the app that will take care of real-time election collation and transmission and display or publishing. Yes, but we need people to do it. So we need a network of 600,000 agents, volunteers that we will call polling unit marshal. 3 per polling unit. Because right now we have about 189,000 polling units across Nigeria. So if they delineate some more, it can't go beyond 200,000. So multiply 200,000 by 3, you have 600,000 polling unit agents, right? That's 3 polling unit agents per polling unit. Now, you have a primary polling agent, you have a secondary polling unit agent, you have a tertiary polling unit agent. They are to check the excesses of each other. In fact, no polling unit primary agent will know who the secondary agent is or who the tertiary agent is. And as the results are declared in the polling unit, Each of them are entering it into Vote Vision, and it is displayed real time. Parallel election transmission in real time, collation, and display. The law does not stop us from doing this. It's just that politicians have been lazy hitherto. I screamed my voice out. In the Edo elections, do it, they refuse. In Ondo elections, do it, they refuse. But this time, since this is national, I promised myself and I promised my country, I will not let the 2027 election come without us having our own parallel election monitoring application with people on ground. They can go and buy their agents. They can buy the agent of political party, but we will have these volunteers that will be incorrigible because we will put things in place to check their excesses. Action plan number 3. Vote Vision and Polling Unit Marshal, constituting real-time election monitoring. Action plan number 4. You know what that is? Calm Guard. Real-time evidence gathering. Calm Guard is also a combination of technology and people. So the polling unit marshal will have distributed to them, particularly those from the ward collation center up, primarily, because if we have 8,809 wards in Nigeria and we put polling unit agents there, that means maximum, multiply that by 3, maybe 20,000 polling, 20,000 or 24,000 or 27,000 or 30,000, what do you call them now? Mini cameras. And if each of them is 10 naira, do the maths. It is something that we can crowdfund. We have the application already available to aggregate all of these, the images, the videos, the audios from each collation center. We'll expand it to polling unit if we have the resources, because that will mean a lot of minicams, but we can handle from collation center up, and then individuals can handle with their phone because the application accepts input from the polling unit marshal. They can use their phone. And don't forget, in the polling unit on election day, we have a lookout system. It's a structured system that will allow people to be on the lookout while others vote, so that when the thugs are coming, there will be like an advanced team that will spot them and relay the information and give them and cause them to lose their element of surprise. You know, so that the mini camps that we have can be placed in very discreet locations that the riggers will not know where they are, yet they are transmitting, and we can receive such information in video, in pictures, and in audio straight into the web app that we aggregate all of these evidences. And why do we need it? Have you ever wondered why they tell you to go to court after they rig? It is because they know that you failed to plan, and so you do not have the evidence, the admissible evidence to tender in court to be able to make your case. That is what happened to us in 2023. So this time around, we have learned from our mistakes. As the election is closing, whatever time it closes, immediately the last voter votes and the votes are counted. The evidence we need to win in court, we already have all of them. No need to apply to INEC, because we will win the election at the polling unit, not even at the collation center, at the polling unit, with action plan number 4, Calm Guard. Now, action plan number 5 is called Well Fund. Why Well Fund? If you wait for election day for free and fair elections, it is already too late, because there are so many things. Okay, I left out indicating the different components of the of successful rigging that each of the action plan takes care of. Okay, fine. I'll take care of it here now. Well fund takes care of the most important part. Well fund, which is the action plan number 5, and action plan number 6, which is law patrol. The both of them take care of voter apathy, vote selling. They take care of it. How? Details coming shortly. We're launching well fund July 1. We're launching law patrol July 1. In fact, law patrol helps to ensure that everybody respects the rule of law. Law patrol ensures that access to justice is not expensive and impossible or difficult. It makes it cheap and even free. Law patrol, action plan number 6. Then number 7, action plan is the abundance party. INEC may try whatever they want to stop us from registering this party. But by the special grace of God, we will register it. And that is the machine, the political engine that will open up and put everything in place and make sure that election rigging in Nigeria is a thing of the past. These are the 7 action plans that constitute Project Eagle. And we're launching them starting July 1. Are you in or are you out? Are you still thinking, oh no, it will not work? Look, I will tell you this for free. If we try, we may win. But if we don't, we have already lost. What do we have to lose by trying? Absolutely nothing. In fact, the way Project Eagle is structured, it is structured to take away the risk that you face when you act alone. If all of us act individually, we are like a single stick of broom. Even a baby can take the broom stick and break it. But if all of us come together, we are like the bunch of broom. Even Iron Man cannot break it. That is what the 7 action steps guarantees for us. It removes the individual risk factor. It removes it. So there is nothing for you to fear, but everything for you to gain if you're a patriotic Nigeria that wants a Nigeria that works for all of us. So don't just sit down and dispel everything I've said and say it cannot work. At least let us try it. I'll be coming your way again before July 1 when we activate. Before then, think positive. A new Nigeria is very much indeed possible, starting with stopping election rigging. 2027 will not be a joke. Like they say, we go popo them. Even if their plan is to write elections, even when they will be writing it, we go to put fire for their nyash. We're not going to make it easy for them. At least we will make it difficult.